Hey guys, it's ViewMasters Reactions, and we're back with Campaign 2, Episode 33, Part 2. I took a couple breaks in between, but I did it all in one day so that this week I could get ahead on everything for October, and then this way when we get into next week, we could get back into the routine. I just feel like because of doing entire episodes in a day and then having my birthday and my brother visit with the Ren Fair and everything, things have gotten discombobulated. Then Cobra Kai came and I had to take a different route with the live streams on that. We're pretty much back to normal now. It's just I was still in catch-up mode. Now, because of this, I have just finished this all. I did Talks Machina. I finished everything I needed to do for the week, and now tomorrow I'm going to do all of October's exclusives. I should be able to, by the end of this week, by Monday, I should be able to be a month ahead almost, give or take. Either way, that's where I wanted to be. I wanted to get where I could be back to normal and not be like bombarded, because sometimes I do 7-8 hours of reactions in a day like this. But last we saw in the Hour Patreon exclusive, we are just about to see Jester's mother. We didn't quite see her yet, but Matt was describing a wooden door that looked different than the rest on the third level of the lavish. Coco's on the bed and just rolled out of the pod accidentally because the balance of weight flipped her. It was adorable. She is over there now, totally confused, half asleep. But the lavish chateau is where Jester's mom is playing, the Ruby of the Sea. I worried in the beginning that she had lost her luster or her ability to pull a crowd because it wasn't a sold out house. There are 10 tables, very lavish place, hence the name, I guess. He said it was wrapped in Dupani silk. What was it? He was even making fun like, oh, like Bob Dupani. I don't know. It sounded Italian. I never heard of it in my life. Liam obviously didn't either. They looked it up on their phone. It is some sort of fancy, shiny silk that is covering these tables, and Jester's mom's about to pop out. But Jester, before it happened, said, I'm running upstairs. I want to say hi. There was a whole extravagant, I felt like, thing going on with going up a spiral staircase and then getting to the second floor. And then there was a Zalezo. These are the guards that are all around Nicodranus. Zalezo. They're easily paid off, although we did give them 5 gold. We also tipped the dude at the door 5 gold to watch all our animals. We got Sprinkle the Weasel. We got Nugget the Blink Dog. And we have Professor Thaddeus the Owl. Here's my thing with Professor Thaddeus. I dig the name, but I feel like I cannot get Thaddeus Candleglow out of my head. I feel like the name Thaddeus is so, like, on the nose. It isn't like Bob or Jim or Fred. I just feel like the name Thaddeus, we've only heard it once in this entire campaign in hundreds of hours, and I can't not think of Thaddeus Candleglow. Now, the dude's a good dude. If Bo was to say, I named this owl in honor of Thaddeus Candleglow, which wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. But if she said it, it would have made more sense to me than her just randomly naming it Thaddeus when we already met a Thaddeus. I just feel like I don't like in general, like I said it before in the beginning, Knot had the Knot sisters. It wasn't Knot. It was in the carnival, there was the Knot sisters. And I'm like, with a character named Knot in the beginning of the campaign, it throws me off. Reusing a name, especially a name that rings like very unique already, is just weird. And I don't want to make a big deal out of it. And I know it's Bo again, so I don't want to make people think like I'm ragging on Bo again. I just think the name, I just wish it was a different name, only because of Thaddeus Candleglow. But Thaddeus isn't a bad name. So we got Professor Thaddeus. I dug when she gave it to the guy. She goes, that's professor, because it's like when people say doctor, like that's Dr. So-and-so, excuse me. We gave a title to the owl, like it's a professor. That's adorable, and I like that. I dig the professor part. I don't know, it's just something about it. You guys let me know what you think. I know a lot of you are going to probably be like, you're overthinking it or something, but see, there could be like, she has a reason for it, and it was before she knew there was a Thaddeus Candleglow or something like that. That's a possibility. Other than that, though, I feel like we should have named it something more unique. Like she went with Sprinkle. As silly as Sprinkle is, she goes, yeah, because it's like on donuts. It's like, I never heard of a Sprinkle before, and it kind of makes sense, and I dig it. Let's just jump in. I just talked for 5 years about nonsense. You guys want to see more of what I do, full unedited episodes, all the shows on the channel, seasons edited, what you're seeing, hundreds of exclusives you'll only see on Patreon. The link is at the end. Dozens of shows you'll never see on YouTube. I just don't have time to edit it all. Doctor Who, Person of Interest. These have the Patreon Hour exclusive. Dozens of others. Steven Universe. Chucky started this week. Check it out. If not, Campaign 2, Episode 33, Part 2.
It was a gift.
I've been doing
from
8 hours of reactions, guys, and I've had a bit of
it's been installed but it marks the chamber where the Ruby of the Sea
Ruby of
makes
the
her
Sea.
home, and for most of your life until recently, you made yours.
I go up to it.
Okay, go up to the door.
We stayed downstairs.
Go up to the door. Everyone else is downstairs. We're finally going to meet Jester's mom. We've heard her speak.
You can hear
through
muffled through the doorway a little bit of practice singing some scales and la 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 la, and you hear other voices talking, and there's some rustling moving through, and like someone seems to stub a toe and go like, "Ow, we're trying." And there's a few other people rushing around in there.
I knock on the door and say, good evening, Marianne Lavore. The little Sapphire has come to see you.
Oh my God, that's right.
There's a pause.
Was that said
And there's
before?
the door, and the
oh,
door
maybe that wasn't the little
creeps open, and
Sapphire.
you can see
I feel
one
like
of the
we have
servants
heard that before, but maybe
who works
not.
within the chateau. An older woman in her 40s or so, human with like very short, kind of crimped, dark hair, who generally helps prep your mother, helps her get dressed, and helps get her prepared for the performance. Glances past. Her name is actually.
Nadine. Does Jester know Nadine? I would assume she
and
would, right?
she peeks through, looking at.
She looked like she does.
I'm terribly sorry. What did you say?
I'm here to see the Ruby of the Sea.
Unfortunately, she is going to be performing shortly.
I know. Tell her that I'm here.
I am. She is.
No, I know.
Not
Just
taking
tell her.
any sort of
tell her.
customers
The
at
little
this time.
Sapphire's here to see you, Ruby.
You hear a voice from behind her go, "I'm sorry, what?" And from peeking over the shoulder as your vision focuses into the chamber beyond, low lit beyond just the series of candles that are set around the single mirror, you see the beautiful red skin of your mother and the dark hair tumbled past the shoulder as she's been wearing a mostly laced up bodice. As one of the other servant is in the process of lacing and tying it, glances over her shoulder, kind of pushes past the edge of the chair and goes,
It's me.
you see her smile brightly, her kind of faintly white, glowing with a hint of yellowish gold tint to her eyes, brighten immediately. And goes, "Well, come in. Please, close the door for me."
The mom must
closes the
know
door and
why
goes,
she's in disguise.
Very confused by this mistress, but whatever you require. At which point the other one who's lacing is still like pulling on the back of the bodice, and without even looking at her, Marianne just kind of pushes her aside and goes, "Shh."
I ran forward and gave her a big hug.
Okay, as you kind of give her a hug, she kind of holds you there and goes,
She still looks like a human.
You look different.
It's a spell. I'm actually still me. Don't worry.
There's a nod, and their kind of tension in her body melts as her arms kind of enclose on your shoulders and back and pulls you in close in this moment of warmth and relief that washes over both of you at being reunited here in this chamber. The two servants kind of sit in the back awkwardly, not quite understanding entirely either, and kind of whispering to each other.
A little odd.
While Marianne continues to hold you and rock you back and forth.
I mean, it's not odd if you know what's going
Jester,
on.
I've missed you so much.
I missed you so much. I wanted to come home sooner, but we got distracted because we went to the Empire.
But I remember you telling me you were going to go there.
Oh, that's right. I sent you messages.
Yes.
Yeah.
How was it? I have not traveled beyond the boundaries.
It's
Beyond
really
the boundaries. That's the
kinda
episode.
cold and
Oh, wait, no,
know,
that
the
was last
people are
episode.
pretty strict, but there are some really, really nice people that you can meet. I met a lot of friends. You should meet them.
I'd be happy to. And
They're downstairs.
she kind of traces her fingers along her face and goes like,
Here.
Can I
put her hand on my horn so she can tell
she
it's still
feels
there.
it, and she's like,
Can I see you?
can I see my
Yeah.
little girl?
I knew she was
Is
gonna.
it okay with them?
I haven't seen you in so long, and I have to see you in a human form.
He dropped the illusion, and even though she knew, it wasn't until actually she gets an opportunity to look upon your face and your hair and your eyes and your smile that you watch just life breathe in like a renewed fire into the chest of your mother.
She's gonna
And
sing
immediately she
like
grabs the
she's
sides of your
never
cheeks and pulls you in
sang
and goes,
before.
I've missed you so much. And just brings you in and kisses you on the forehead and starts running her fingers through your hair and
Hear the music
Oh,
kicked in
hello,
too.
the weasel.
Giddy music kicked in. Sprinkle.
His name is Sprinkle, Mama.
he is very adorable.
I'm going to say I left Nugget downstairs with you guys.
Okay.
After he beat on you.
Yeah.
She immediately starts kind of brushing your hair with her fingers on the side. It's like, you've gone so far and traveled so much. You have to tell me about what you've done.
I will, of course. Do you want me to finish lacing you up? Your performances tonight.
Yes, it is. Please, do not mind. She knows what to do. And so
I was gonna
now
say
in front
she's
of the
probably
mirror with you
done this
behind
a
her.
lot
She's
of
looking at
times.
you through the mirror over her shoulder as you're helping lace at the back of her bodice. And
We went to a town and it was burned down and we killed a bunch of gnolls and we took off their ears. And then we went to another city and we fought these fish people in this swamp and it was really crazy.
mom probably thinks they're
and
insane.
then,
It's like
oh my
Goonies
gosh, you
with
should meet this monk girl that I know. She's crazy and she fights with her fists and also with a staff and she's really strong. And there's this other girl who has wings. And I tell her all about it.
all right, and she's just enthralled, just listening to all this. And
Not often in brothels, but you take what you can get.
I
Family
never would have
reunions.
thought my little Jester would be seeing the world and fighting creatures, and
Fighting so much. You should see how strong I've gotten.
I want to see how strong you've gotten.
Well, I mean, okay. Do you want me to punch you?
Perhaps wait till after the performance.
Okay.
I've just applied my. Anyway,
Do you want
at
me to
that point,
punch
she
you?
stands up and,
All right,
and
that's,
puts her
that's a bit much.
the rest of her dress on, and it's this beautiful, deep purple.
I'm curious if we're gonna get
kind of
her
satin-type
song or her
material.
act
It's
before
low
the
cut,
break.
this beautiful long.
It's only about 10 minutes
kind
left.
of almost training sleeve that
Not even. It's
hangs down past her knees when her
7
arms are at her
minutes.
side. Puts on her necklace. Almost like what looks to be a
Matt's gonna
faint
end it
velvet
before she
choker
goes
that
on.
pulls across the back of the neck there, and in the center is a small blue gem.
Because I forgot he's gonna do
She
another
keeps to
2 or
remind
3
herself
minutes
of
of
you.
goodbyes and wormwood giveaways.
She takes a moment to look in the mirror and, well, how do I look?
You look beautiful, Mama.
then perhaps you should go join your friends.
Oh, right.
Ford
I can't disguise
and
myself
Bo.
anymore, though.
Very giddy up there.
Can I borrow a cloak or something?
Perhaps. You can technically spend higher spell slots to cast a lower level spell,
Shit.
if you want to. It's up to
Okay,
you.
yeah, that's all what I'll do.
You better rest up
I'll
after the
cast it
show.
again.
Yeah,
Okay.
but after the show, you better rest
So,
up.
what could happen?
What could happen?
All my spell slots.
Okay.
That's the thing. I'm like, what could happen?
And
Or
they run
watch
back
the
down.
show,
Run
you go
back
to sleep.
downstairs to join the rest.
Who knows?
All right.
Got 2 of them.
We still have Caduceus. Yeah.
Yeah.
How much more do we get before the break?
The rest
She's
of
almost ready. She's almost ready. She's so beautiful.
That's great. Was she happy to see you?
Yeah, no, of course she was.
Was she?
All right, we have confirmed everything.
Is she gonna give us?
It looks like it's going to be a sold out house.
Sure. Yes, of course she is.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
While we've been sitting down there, I have not disguised the way I look. Any glances, looks, anybody we recognize, anybody lingering on us?
In the 15 or 20 minutes or so that Jester's been gone, the rest of the room has filled. To the point where there are a few people hovering around your table in hopes that perhaps you will leave and they will try and snipe it from you, and kind of occasionally just clear their throat in your presence, hoping that maybe you'll recognize their
Yeah, no,
status
we're
higher.
here. We are here.
I make myself look real big.
I remember this.
Put my staff out.
Almost
Yeah.
every night I told you guys
Feet up
for
on
like
the other
10
chair.
years I would go
Yeah,
out
holding the chair for
drinking,
Jester.
eating, bars.
Move on, friend.
And when you'd get there late, you'd have to
Eventually
kind of
make the
eye
opposite
people
of the
up
room
like,
and they
are you guys
perpetually throwing
leaving?
stink eye in
Is
your
that
direction.
table available? Like
Are you
you'd
in
have to
front
like
or the middle
hawk
or the back?
tables.
You guys, I
Not
believe
like
took a
in
table
a-
near the
like a
stairs,
mean way,
which would be
but
on the right side.
if you
Probably,
didn't, someone else would
for
grab
tables
it.
available.
Okay.
From where, if you're looking from the entrance where you came, so it would be on the northeastern side of the building.
How big an audience space is it? Roughly.
10 tables.
Roughly,
I
it's
became like
10
a
tables.
People are
professional,
crammed in
and
here,
I would
I
just like
guess.
hawk
Okay,
out
I think-
tables, and I'd be like, those people are going to be gone in 2 minutes, and I would
throughout
go
the
over
interior
and
of
like
this whole
literally
chamber, you
snipe
probably
it on
have now,
people.
including yourselves,
I would
close
fight
to
people for tables.
50 to 60 people.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
And that includes some people that are standing, because there are
The funny thing is, I always like to stand, but
the tables are
everyone
either
I'm
been
with likes to
taken
sit.
by some of the tables here are set and reserved for people that are only 2 folks that sit there. No one else is allowed to take the
I have
table.
a
and
friend
it is
that
enforced, and
literally
they come with their own
wouldn't go
Zills of
out
bodyguards.
unless it was guaranteed he could sit.
The 2 people.
Because
Yeah,
he
there
had
is
a
couple
back
that
issue
is currently
situation,
situated
but
on
he was
one
also
of the
pampered.
central tables.
What do they look like?
Okay. So the first one you see is a human woman, probably in her early 20s or so. very vibrant blonde hair that is kind of pulled back and left into these curls that kind of spiral down off the shoulders, wearing kind of a low shoulder dress that's made of what looks to be a very fine, you can't really make out the material, but it has a sheen to it. Beautiful jewelry, and across the way you can see what looks to be a much older man. Kind of receding hairline a bit, deep grayish turning white hair, very, very deep set crow's feet in the sides of his face where his eyes are almost not visible. The eyelids themselves seem to be almost drooping, and the wrinkles beneath are kind of encroaching upon what little of the eyes you can see. Probably in his 70s or so. Very, very well dressed with a coat and tails.
She's very almost like an inquisitive
and
look.
His attire, both their attire seems to be more Dwendalian than Menagerie
I do that all the
Coast.
time. I think the raise the eyebrow thing. I think I do it without.
At least in the styles that they're wearing, though they do have two Zalezo that are hired and kind of keeping a watch at the table.
Jester, you recognize those stuffy pants people?
Good one.
The stuffy pants people.
No, I've never seen them before. Have you eaten any of this cheese? It's really good.
No, but we did. We got you 2 milks because there's a 2-drink minimum.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
2 milks because of the 2-drink minimum.
As drinks have been ordered to your specifications to the table, and the drinks here are expensive.
I covered that.
Okay.
What's
so I'd say
expensive here, though?
There aren't. It's rare that you get rounds here. You either get high-end liquors or bottles of wine.
Couple gold.
Table service.
Whatever
Bottle
is
service.
expected here,
Bottle
Caleb
service.
covers.
All right. That will cost you approximately
1 platinum. Bottle
almost
service.
6 gold
Wow.
for 2 bottles of wine.
All right, so maybe our tips weren't
generous.
that crazy.
Thank you.
We thought 5 gold as a tip was crazy.
Actually, no. I'm sorry. I said wrong. That would be
hear
for the liquor it'd be 6 gold. For the 2 bottles of wine, it's 10 gold apiece, so 26 gold.
Oh, no way.
I told you I was rich.
Do we?
All right,
Do you tip
now
in
the 5
Menagerie
gold
Coast?
is maybe too little.
Is in the Menagerie Coast.
But he did make a face like,
Do you
holy
tip
crap.
The whole fucking society is based on.
But Caleb does not
10%?
know that and does not tip.
Well, I thought.
He has no experience with any of it.
Caleb doesn't. Caleb.
The
Caleb
doors
doesn't
are
tip
closed.
like Steve Buscemi
On the other
and
side of the
Reservoir
chamber.
Dogs.
Okay.
The band brings their song to a close, and a bit of a murmur kind of takes the quiet room as the lights shift. The candles that were all kind of
D&D
that warm,
Unplugged, Wildmount City
yellowish
Limits
orange light
presents
suddenly
Marion
all at once
Lavore.
reduced to a low red flicker.
Ooh, this is exciting. I should have peed before the show started.
I never really get to watch from down here.
This is exciting.
And that's where we're gonna take a break.
I knew it. I'm like, there's no way there's enough time.
I'm so ready. I was
I-
ready for
It'll
it.
work.
I'm like, unless I made a mistake, there's no way there's enough time for this. All right, we're gonna have a live stream
All
with the Ruby of the Sage.
So we'll come back to here in just a few minutes. We're gonna take a quick
Great
break.
time.
For us and
Take
for
a
you
break.
folks, we're having our giveaway
I was
tonight, our
almost
Wormwood
going to go a
giveaway.
little over. I was before I started any of this. I was going to do an extra 10 minutes for
Fantastic
part 1 and 2.
Dice Tower sent
and go
me from
20 minutes
Cherry
into
Cherrywood right here with our
the next part.
the Raven's Call
after the break.
photography
But
from our
good
friend
thing I
Devin Root.
didn't,
That's an amazing
because
work there.
the live stream
It
is the
is
way I want to do the Ruby of the Sea.
Yeah, it's the whole magnetic set where you can go ahead and assemble your dice tower
Whole
and little
magnetic
and
set.
dice boxes. And that,
said it was cherry.
In order to enter, you have to jump over to the Critical Role Twitch. That's twitch.tv/Critical
jump.
Role. And in the chat room, enter the code word PETS. P-E-T-S.
You have to hit the code word
One time only.
Smashing Metal
One time
Bowl.
only. And more than once, you'll be disqualified. And we'll have.
Want to go with Professor Thaddeus?
Partially because I didn't know what it was then. So yeah, enter the code there during the break, and we'll come back here shortly with a winner. So we'll see you guys here in a few minutes.
All right, guys, that's it for part 2, campaign 2, episode 33. I was thinking that's the way we do it. I wasn't sure, though. I'm like, there's no way Matt's going to rush this. And being as we only had 15 minutes tops in part 2, even if they quickly introduced Jester to her mother. I'm thinking there's no way that we're going to have an introduction and her meet all of us and come down the stairs singing this whole song number. I figured it was going to be after the break, and I couldn't wish for more because I would want to watch it during the live stream with all of you so we could all experience it together. I didn't want them to rush it either. I want them to really take their time. I don't know for sure if we've heard of Jester being referred to as the little Sapphire. They made faces like they'd never heard it, and I was like, oh damn, did I forget that? Because that would make sense why the episode is called The Ruby and the Sapphire. Obviously the Sapphire is Jester. If I had known that, then the name of the episode would have been right in our faces, obvious. Because I was saying maybe it has to do with the bag of gems, maybe it's a misdirect because we know Jester's mom's the Ruby, but we got a bag of rubies and sapphires and stuff like that, perhaps. Because I don't know exactly the gems we got, but we got 500 gold worth of gems. That might come back up at some point. I said this earlier. Either way, I didn't think there was enough time. There wasn't. We have Jester meet her mom. We get a whole nice little introduction for a good 5 to 10 minutes of this part. Everything Jester said seems to be true. Sold out crowd. Her mom is at the top level of the lavish chateau. The place, we just found out, charges 10 gold for a bottle of wine, 6 gold for, what was it, the liquor we drank or the beers we got. We just paid 26 gold for a round of drinks, so to speak. It wasn't a round, because Matt said it's not necessarily a round, it's basically going to cover us for the night. But at dive bars, we were paying less than a gold for an entire round for like the entire night. I remember we would go to bars and just throw a couple silver, and that was including tip, and it covered the night. So this is extremely high end. And the fact that Jester's mom sings in like prime time and people come, sold out crowds, living on the top penthouse suite of this place, I got to assume everything Jester said is true. We did have her get money from the mom and stuff. I just wasn't sure if she was elaborating a lot or being, I don't know. You don't know what Jester. Jester is so out there. And it's not even like intentional to deceive. It's just she's chaotic and crazy. And I don't know what she actually believes herself half the time. But besides that, we are going to now see, when we start the live stream, Jester's mom is going to sing The Ruby of the Sea, Marion Lavore. I am surprised we haven't run into more people we know. But Jester is in disguise now. She's got a cloak on, so she is Jester. Ford asked, is anybody around that like recognizes me or that I recognize? He made it a point to say I didn't disguise myself. He wants to be seen. He probably wants to figure stuff out and have people approach him. Now that we're in a group, what are they going to do? Come and like fight us? Let them, I guess. Or we'll figure stuff out. Maybe they'll go, dude, I haven't seen you. How you been? I thought you were dead. Something like that. Kind of like what happened with Molly. Because Molly really did die, but now Molly is dead again. We had Jester's mom. We saw how lavish the place was. We are now in a full house. It's 50 to 60 people, Matt said, sold out, crowded place. I'm curious to see what happens. Are we just going to get a nice little concert, get introduced to Jester's mom, and then go on with our journey? Or is something going to break out? Because we made it a point also to tell Jester, oh, you could use a higher level spell slot to disguise yourself again if you want. But she didn't, I believe, or did she? Now I can't remember. I think she said she just put a cloak on, because who's to say that something isn't going to break out in the middle of the mother singing? Who's to say something doesn't break out and she needs that? What if we go into full-fledged battle? Do I think it's going to happen? No. I feel like we're in a secure area of town. We're in a lavish, expensive, luxurious place. I don't see anything like that happening. I think we're going to see the mom's concert. We're going to introduce our friends. We're going to take a nap. We're going to all rest and regroup. You guys let me know what you think. I am jumping into other things. You guys want to see more of what I do, full on edited episodes, all the shows on the channel, seasons out of what you're seeing, hundreds of exclusives you'll only see on Patreon. The link is in front of me. Dozens of shows you'll only see on YouTube. I just don't have the time to edit it all. Doctor Who, Person of Interest, the Patreon exclusive for these. Started Steven Universe and the new Chucky, dozens of others. Check it out. If not, comments down below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.